Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and welcome to the show. Today is Wednesday, the 27th of May, 2020. Glad to have you guys here. Now, I want to get started right away, so let's open up the charts right here. Take a look at what's going on. Here's what's going on. Under the United States Hong Kong Policy Act of 1992, the U.S. treats Hong Kong as a semi-autonomous part of China. So they have this special status, the city of Hong Kong. And you know, the protesters over there are protesting for their rights under this special status. Now, the Chinese government has introduced a new bill. It's a new law that they're planning on putting into law. And the thing is the United States President Donald Trump could possibly rescind Hong Kong's special status to punish China for recent moves to tighten its grip on the city amidst a resurgence of pro-democracy movements in the streets. This would mean treating the financial hub of Hong Kong, which is one of the biggest financial hubs of the world, no differently than any other Chinese city. This is a seismic shift that could harm both economies in an already difficult time. Not only that, this could possibly move us toward a new Cold War. Quite seriously, this would be huge. And the Chinese want to impose, it says the Chinese government's decision in May to impose a new national security law in the city of Hong Kong. And basically this is all about stopping the city's autonomy. It's going to not just undermine the city's autonomy, it will basically quash it in Hong Kong. They won't have any autonomy. And the thing is they'll be just like they're another city in China if this law goes through. And so, what about the U.S.? It says Hong Kong is the only semi-democratic jurisdiction under Chinese rule. Offers U.S. companies a relatively safe way to access the Chinese market and employ a U.S. dollar peg, linking it with the American financial system. According to the Congressional Research Service, the latest U.S. trade surplus in 2018 with Hong Kong was $31.1 billion. Some 290 U.S. companies had regional headquarters in the city that year, and another 434 had regional offices, it said. Hong Kong's first justice minister, after a handover to China in 1997, Elsie Leung, told the South China Morning Post in May that any damage would be mutual. We are not just getting the benefits, it's a free trade arrangement which is good for both sides. And the thing is the United States could actually punish China with some sort of sanctions or whatever. This situation could actually make the relations between China even and the United States deteriorate much more than what they are right now already. You know, and things have been going downhill rather rapidly ever since the beginning of this trade war that the United States and China are in. And, you know, I could see the possibility, you know, in the future, not too distant future, if these laws are passed, where there could be some sort of, it could move from a trade war where there is, where they're imposing tariffs to embargoes. And basically what an embargo is they stop trading completely. You can't buy products from China, you know, and that could, I mean, I'm just looking at it as a possibility, some sort of an embargo at some point, you know, if this thing keeps escalating to a certain point. And it doesn't seem to be really settling down all that much. It just adds more fuel to the already burning fire that we have going in the entire world's economy right now, you know. Like we need more, you know. Honest to gosh, I'm going to tell you guys. Picture some sort of a very remote place like Tibet or someplace like that, and there's a train that goes around the side of a volcano. So all the people get on this train, and it's a little rickety train, you know. And the tracks go right out over the edge of the volcano crater. And as you go out over the edge of the volcano crater, you can look down there and see the bubbling lava down beneath you, about 1,000 feet beneath you, right? That's the situation we're in right now. It's like we're all on board that train right now, and we're all peering down into the abyss. Well, you know, if you get a bunch of rowdy people on that train, they could derail the train. The whole train could fall off into the abyss. You know? That's the situation we're in. Everybody needs to, out there right now, during this situation that we're in, needs to remain calm and keep a cool head. You know? Because we're in a situation where, just think about it for a minute. If there was some sort of a worldwide, everybody on Earth started to revolt of some sort or another, revolution or whatever, you know, whatever it's called, over the whole world, you know, just think about what would happen. It would be like dominoes falling, and the first domino to fall would be the power would go out in wide areas. The grid would go down. That would be the first domino to fall. Now think about the next domino to fall. Within 24 to 36 hours after the power goes out, all these people out there, their phones turn off because they can't charge them. You know, the battery goes dead on their phones because you have to charge those darn phones daily, you know. And with teenagers, their battery would be gone 6 hours, for crying out loud, the way they use those phones. Now, what happens when when all their phones go out and stop working? What happens then? The power's out. Madness. Because they can't live without their phones. Well, they can live without their phones, but they won't. They'll go nuts. If they don't get their medication and they don't have their phone, they will go quite literally crazy, berserk. You know? And once the entire world's gone berserk, then how do you get it back on the tracks again? It's like the train going across the volcano and peering down into the abyss. Once that train falls off the tracks and is rolling down into the lava, it's over, man. How do you get it back up on the tracks again? And so we're facing a situation where all the people out there in the whole world, not just here in America, not just here in Canada, and you know America has a little bit of a special status in all of this because, well, anyway, everyone in the whole world right now has to keep a cool head, has to stay calm and work our way through this situation to the other side to where we can get our feet back under us again. The rug's been pulled out from underneath of us, and basically in this situation. We never saw it coming. None of us saw it coming. And we need to keep a cool head and remain calm, because panicking, if the whole world panics, you know, that could be the results of that. If the power grids went down, you know, the results of it could be absolutely catastrophic. The chain of events that actually could occur if the power grid goes down for any length of time, you know. And you know, everybody out there in the world, you know, let's get to the markets, because I'm kind of rambling a little bit here. Let's take a look at what's going on today with silver. First off, 17.11. It's up 2 cents on the day so far. Did take a nice little dip down there. I hope somebody was able to buy in a little bit. Of course, nowadays it's hard to get any. They don't change the price. I mean, the premiums stay the same. So if you want the real thing, you got to pay the premium. And even if the silver price dips, the premium doesn't dip that much. You know, we're into the premiums right now. The premiums come first before the spot price is getting ready to really take off, you know. And then the premiums just go up even higher. There is such a limited supply of real physical silver out there. I don't think people realize what a limited supply it is. And I found out last night, I don't know how long they've been doing it, but quite literally, they are working it so that they can not dig into that limited supply too much. In other words, what they're doing is it's almost like when you what's the word I'm looking for? When there's already but you don't want to let a shortage be known that there's a shortage. But if somebody comes in and puts in a big order, you don't fill it. Like it's like you only and they've been doing this, and I think it's going to get worse. You might actually see in the very near future limitations to how much silver you can buy in these retail silver outlets and stuff. You go in and it might come. You can only buy 10 ounces. Uh, they might limit how much you can buy. Rationing. That's what it's called. They've been actually already doing it. They're already rationing it. If somebody comes in right now and they wanted to fill $100 million order in physical silver right now, they'd find out it's impossible. They're rationing what they have left because they don't have much left, and they want to keep the impression going that these markets are fine and stable, and they got plenty of silver out there, like all the monster boxes you want and stuff. The time's coming very soon. I think it's coming very soon. I'm going to predict this right now. Probably coming within the next 6 months, when you can't buy a monster box of silver anymore. Not even one monster box. The time's coming when you won't even be able to. You might not even be able to buy a roll of them, like the 20 coins in a roll. You might not even be able to buy that. You might only be able to buy like 5 or 10 ounces. They might even actually limit you down to 1 ounce. You can only buy an ounce to a time, sort of thing. Because I think they're running short. Already, I think they're running short. And I think they're running scared. Let's take a look now at gold. 1703 today for gold. Down $6.70. Take a look at cryptocurrency today. $255.4 billion, 65.9% Bitcoin dominance. Price is moving up a little bit. 91.55 for Bitcoin. Dow Jones, up again. Always up, 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 up. What goes up has to come down, and boy, gosh, this thing could come down. This thing really could come down an awful long way, and it could come down awfully fast when it does. But, the great print hasn't happened yet. I know the Fed's been printing a lot and everything, but the great print hasn't happened yet. The great print is going to be a reaction by the central bank to when everything starts to dissolve, really dissolve. They're going to react. And I don't know, it might be 20 trillion, it might be 50 trillion. It's going to dwarf what we've already seen. And the amount of stimulus that they put out there is going to dwarf what we've already seen. And they're going to do it effectively because they need to do it in order to maintain control over the system. It's as simple as that. If they don't do it, they're going to lose control over the system. And so they're going to make the great print, and it's going to be absolutely... They could actually print that much money in a time when we're starting to recover from this virus, and it could stimulate us into a actual real economic recovery if they print enough. If they're not stingy with the printer and they really go hog tie wild, it could make some sort of a recovery start. Because I'm going to tell you, still, even though things are the way they are, there's still an awful lot of power and money. And if you dump enough money on something, you can stimulate an artificial recovery. But you're also going to make hyperinflation. Let's take a look now at crude oil. Crude oil is down today, $32.68. It's down 1.67%. U.S. Treasuries, the long end is falling, and the short end is rising. We're looking at the 10-year at 0.67, and the 30-year at 1.43. And now for the U.S. dollar index, 99.26. I'll tell you guys, we got an election coming up. This is an election year. And I don't think the stimulus is ever going to end now. They can't end it. And I think it's only ever going to increase. And there could be a point where they really increase it big. Thank you guys for listening. Give me a thumbs up. And we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.